For 12 years, I believed I had the perfect marriage. My wife, Claire, was thoughtful, kind, and always seemed loyal beyond doubt. We met in college, built our lives together from nothing, and eventually moved into a modest home in the suburbs. I worked long hours as an engineer, while Claire handled most of our day-to-day life, paying bills, handling mail, and managing our family car. I trusted her completely. There was never a reason not to. One morning, I came home early from work because a project got delayed. As I walked up the driveway, I noticed a white envelope tucked under the windshield wiper of Claire's car. It looked official, the kind of mail from a dealership or manufacturer. I placed it on the kitchen counter, assuming it was something routine. Claire was at her office, so I decided to open it, thinking it might be about a safety issue. The letter was from the car company, notifying the owner of a recall due to a faulty airbag. But what caught my attention was the name printed in bold, to Claire Reynolds and Matthew Hayes. I froze. My name wasn't Matthew Hayes. Claire had always been Claire Dawson after marriage. For a second, I thought it was a clerical mistake. But when I looked at the car's VIN number listed in the letter, it matched perfectly with our vehicle. Confused and uneasy, I decided to check the car's registration documents in the drawer where Claire kept all the papers. The registration had her name and another man's name, Matthew Hayes, listed as co-owners. My chest tightened as I read it again and again, hoping I was mistaken. How could there be another name tied to her car, one she drove every day to work? That night, I didn't confront her right away. I wanted to understand before I accused. So I searched the name online. It didn't take long. Matthew Hayes lived one town over and, from his social media, seemed very close with Claire. Pictures of work events and training sessions appeared, and in the background of several, I saw Claire smiling, her hand resting on his shoulder. The next morning, I acted like everything was normal. Claire kissed me goodbye, grabbed her keys, and said she had a late meeting. As soon as she left, I followed her car. My heart pounded as I tailed her for nearly 40 minutes until she turned into a neighborhood I'd never seen before. She parked outside a modest apartment complex, and then Matthew came out to greet her. He hugged her tightly before they both went inside. I sat in my car, gripping the steering wheel until my knuckles turned white. Every thought of the last decade played in my mind, the nights she claimed to be working late, the weekend she visited her mother, the moments I felt guilty for doubting her. I stayed parked there for an hour, watching through the window as the lights inside flickered on and off. I didn't need to see more. The truth was already clear. When Claire came home that night, I was waiting at the dining table with the recall letter in front of me. She paused the second she saw it. Her face went pale, and she didn't even try to act confused. "Where did you get that?" she asked softly. I didn't shout. I just asked who Matthew Hayes was. At first, she said he was a business associate. But when I mentioned the co-ownership and the address, her expression fell apart. Tears streamed down her face as she confessed. She had been seeing him for almost 3 years. It started as friendship, then something she couldn't stop. The car, she said, was a shared expense, since she used it for trips related to him. Her words sounded distant, like they belonged to someone else. I listened silently, realizing how blind I'd been. That night, I packed a small bag and left the house. I didn't slam doors or yell. I didn't ask for explanations anymore. I went to stay at my brother's place. Days turned into weeks. Claire sent long messages, begging for forgiveness, saying she had ended things with Matthew. But every time I read them, I remembered the look on her face when she got caught. Not sorrow, but fear of being exposed. Eventually, I filed for divorce. She didn't fight it. We sold the house and split what we had. The car, ironically, was repossessed after she failed to keep up payments. I didn't care about any of that. I just wanted peace. Months later, I received another letter from the same car company addressed to me, as the former co-owner. It reminded me of everything, but instead of pain, I felt relief. That letter had shattered my illusion, but it also freed me from a lie I didn't even know I was living. I sometimes think about how strange it was, that a simple car recall exposed what years of trust had hidden. Love can make us blind, but truth finds its way through the smallest cracks. Now, I live quietly, wiser than before. Trust is something I still believe in, But next time, I'll make sure it's earned, not assumed.